Hello, good morning. I'm Manny Gonzales, and I'm speaking of stress. Just ran a little bit and warming up, enjoying this natural setting with this beautiful evergreen behind me. It's cold, probably about 0 degrees. What do I expect for winter time? And I'm excited this morning because it's a great day. And I'm Manny Gonzales. I'm speaking of stress again. That's who I am, because I speak of stress. And as you know, in my previous programs, I speak about how important, how vital it is to get out, do something different. Was in church yesterday and talking to a few folks and just thinking about what's happening. I'm amazed, incredibly amazed, and put off by so many people that are afraid to look at you, that are afraid to talk with you. So many people all around us are living in complete, total fear. Friends, people I know, guess what? They keep their distance. I'm a people person, I'm a hugger. I love to be around people, and you might already know I like to talk. That's when my wife says, yak, 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 yak. Ha, ha, ha. That's my life. That's who I am. So that being a social person, an outgoing person, I care about you, I care about people, I want to know about them, I want to interact with them. However, it's so difficult because you see the look in people's faces because you don't see their smile. You can pick up on their body language, they turn or look the other way, so that the contact, the interactions, the closeness of people is not happening. And you know what? When we're isolated, when we're away from people, things do not work right. Because emotionally and physically, people feel lonely, people feel depressed, people need an outlet, people need to talk with people, people need hugs and touch. You know, years ago they did a study, some of you may be familiar with it. They had these little monkeys and they did a series of tests. And for some of the monkeys, they raised in an environment where there was absolutely no contact with anybody or anything. Whereas the other monkeys, they had contact with people, they had little stuffed animals, they got attention. After a while, guess what happened? The monkeys that were around interactions and people and got attention, they had a good long life, they were healthy. Guess what happened to the monkeys that were isolated, had no contact and given no attention? They died early. They got illnesses, believe it or not. So that in those studies, which are classic studies, it's called the rhesus monkeys studies, if you want to look it up, proves and shows. Again, we're not monkeys, even though some people call me some kind of monkey or donkey. But the thing is that isolation is not good for the human soul. Even Jesus was around 12 people. He was not alone. He had 12 followers. In the book of Genesis, God says it's not good for man to be alone. There's absolutely no benefit, nothing good that comes from isolating, staying away from people, being cold and mean, and ignoring and avoiding contact with people. I understand the circumstances are such that, well, I don't get into it because I'm not completely, totally convinced what they say is true. And the thing I know is, and I'll share it again with you, people are afraid to die. Hey, I'm going to die, you're going to die, we're all going to die. And guess what? At God's timing, if you take care of yourself, doesn't mean isolating, it means being careful. But recently, it's been happening as we get older, we find people dying. I cannot tell you honestly the number of people that we know about or hear about that recently died in the last month, 2 months, 3 months. And guess what? They're dying of cancer, of heart attacks, of natural causes, of obesity, of suicide, of alcohol, drugs, violence. The list goes on and on. People are dying all around us. Stop and look. Check it out. They're not all dying because of this virus. And in fact, I'll tell you something. Statistics show that most of those that die are in nursing homes. Guess what? When you go to a nursing home, you're isolated. You're sick. You're not feeling good. You feel terrible. You get depressed, and you're older most of the time. And guess what? Older people naturally die. So we're all going to die. We're all going to meet our Maker somewhere, sometime. And if we live in this fear, if we're isolated, if we refuse to look at reality, we're going to fall victim to these horrible illnesses, early death, and antisocial attitudes that are being propagated. So what do people do? They sit home and watch the boob tube. This is their reality, even kids on the computers because of school. So guess what happened? We're distancing ourselves from others. And guess what? I need you, you need me. I don't care what you say. I'm not being mean or angry. I guess I am mean and angry. My wife will get me for this. But I need people. I want people. I want life. I want the abundant life God promised. But you can only do that if you're active, if you're doing good things, if you have a positive outlook, if you're living instead of dying. Don't be so afraid of living. Don't be so afraid of people. Don't be so afraid of bugs. Be afraid of the enemy, the negativity in life, the bad things, the crime, the horrible illnesses. Attend to what's important in life, and you will see, I guarantee you, your life will be enhanced. You'll be feeling better. You'll be more relaxed, more relieved, because you're not fearful of that Manny coming around and shaking your hand, Manny smiling at you, Manny hugging you. You won't be afraid of that. In fact, how about a hug? Don't be mad. God bless you. I love you guys. Again, I'm Manny Gonzales. I'm speaking of stress. I'm so cold. I have layers. And this beautiful sight, this beautiful scenery, I could not ignore and avoid today. So have a wonderful social interaction type of day. Attend to people instead of living in fear. Yes, yes, yes. God bless you, my friends.